Hey guys, Pitmaster here. No strike that a human can throw, whether it be a roundhouse kick, spinning back kick, a left hook, a right hook, an elbow, nothing that we can throw in the world can hit harder than the ground. Okay, guys, don't try to read my lips because I'm doing a voiceover. What we're talking about here is the hardest hitter in the world, the most deadly strike on the planet is when your head hits the concrete. That causes more injuries and death than any punch, kick, elbow, or knee ever will. So to defend against this brutal weapon, you have to practice and practice hard. We do many backdrops every day, and we try to make them as realistic as we can. Like we'll kick the bag and do a backdrop, or we'll do a sprawl, 4 punches and a backdrop. We try to combine that with other strikes or techniques because in a street fight, you never know when you're going to hit the ground. And you want it to be in your muscle memory ingrained to fall correctly. Because falling correctly and falling incorrectly can mean the difference between ending up in a coma, being fed through a tube in your stomach, breathing through a tube in your throat, and hopefully, if you're lucky, being changed and turned every 4 hours by an overworked, underpaid Filipino nurse. So it will behoove you to practice your falls so this will not happen. Okay? Most mortalities, like I said before, happen when the head hits the ground, not when the fist hits the face. So we practice these falls, keeping your chin to your chest or turning your head on a backdrop. Okay? Always hitting the meaty part of your arms because any bony prominence hitting the ground hard is going to either break, chip, or dislocate. So practicing falls and rolls is a very, very important part of any martial arts training. Okay? When you do a backdrop, you need your chin to be glued to your chest and you need to slap the ground as hard as you can because the force should be taken in your hands and your arms as opposed to your head. Now, doing a roll is also very important. And the main thing to think about when you're doing a roll, whether it's a back roll or a front roll, is to try not to ever hit your head and to try to stay on the soft parts of your body. Like if you roll and come down hard on your feet, like your heels, you can break your foot on the concrete. So you try to roll as quietly and as softly as you can and practice this often. Because when you're in a street fight, all the practicing in the world is going to pay off now, right that second. You don't have time to practice anymore. Here we're drilling the backdrop. Chin down, slap the ground hard, and get up in a tactical way, just in case your opponent's standing over you. Okay, slap that ground as hard as you can when you do a backdrop. Never use the top of your hands or the back of your hands because you'll break your bones in your hands. So you hit the palm of your hands and the meat of your forearm, not your elbows and not the bones of your forearms. Okay? Slap it as hard as you can. The harder you slap the ground, the better chance of protecting your head because you take the impact there as opposed to whiplashing and hitting the back of your head. When you're doing a front drop, we just turn our heads and we fall. You can do this from a standing position when you're getting a little better at it. You see they're turning their arms out a little so it's hitting the meaty part of their forearms as opposed to their elbows. Could you imagine falling and landing on your elbow on the concrete? It'll break, dislocate, shatter. It'll be useless. So like I'm showing here, you hit with the out, you turn your hands out a little bit, turn your head to the side, and you slap the ground as hard as you can. Always, always focusing on not hitting your face or your head on the ground. Okay? So, that's what we went over. Defending the deadliest strike in the world.